Even if Gambia beat South Sudan 400 goals to nil, Gambia would go out. The June international break is the gift that keeps on giving, and that's not about to change as we look forward to one of the most exciting games of this month. South Sudan, as you can see, bottom of the group, ranked 163, hosting, sort of, the game is played in Egypt. Gambia, 120 in the FIFA World Rankings in a game that is all but guaranteed to make sure that one of them does not make it to AFCON. Why? You can see the group here. Let's break it down slightly, shall we? A win for Gambia. South Sudan will not be able to qualify because they'll have one game left and need at least 6 points. Simply can't happen. A draw in this game between Gambia and South Sudan also means South Sudan are out because they would need to beat Mali and hope that Gambia lost to Congo. But if Gambia lost to Congo, then Congo would go through ahead of them. So even if they were on 4 points going into the final game, and Congo, let's say, were on 6, Gambia on 7, Gambia and Congo play each other. So the way that it works is one of them would go through. So South Sudan will be out unless they win this game. It's important to touch on tiebreakers at this point because Gambia go into this game with a better head-to-head tiebreaker record than South Sudan. So South Sudan need to win and win by more than a 1-goal margin because if they end up level on points with Gambia, they would, if they beat them 1-0, be tied. It would go down to away goals, goals scored. Let's just assume all that was equal. It would go down to straight up goal difference and Gambia have the edge. So South Sudan would need to beat Gambia in this game by really a 2-goal margin or 2-1. Well, no, 2-1 wouldn't even work because of the tiebreaker rules, because Gambia would have technically scored an away goal. It gets complicated. So, from a South Sudan perspective, it really is win or bust. From a Gambia perspective, the side you'd potentially favour to win this one, you must be looking at it thinking, okay, cool, get Gambia, they're 43 places higher. Why are we doing a video on this? It's cool, Gambia are going to win, blah, 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 blah. I'd agree with you if it wasn't for a couple of things. Number one, let's look at this. Goals for. Gambia scored 2 goals in 4 games in this AFCON group. Incredibly, that's led to 2 wins because they beat Mali and they beat South Sudan, both 1-0. But of course, they lost to Congo 1-0 and lost to Mali 2-0. So that's where the 3 goals against comes from. You've got 2 clean sheets, which have led to 2 wins, but 2 other games where they haven't even scored a goal. If you look at the rest of this group, it's kind of chaotic, really. They got the second best defence after Mali, but the worst attack in the whole group, technically speaking, worst goal scoring attack. I don't think man for man they do, but you get my point. The other thing is that South Sudan in the March international break beat Congo. That is why we're in this position. That's why there's such chaos here, is because South Sudan's win over Congo means that technically all of these teams can go out. They can all go through. It would be tough for South Sudan to go through, but they can all go through and they can all go out because in Congo, South Sudan beat them 2-1 with that 96th minute goal. So, how do I think this one's going to go? Well, Gambia need to win because head-to-head record against Congo is worse. Congo, they've only played them once. They lost 1-0, as I've mentioned. Head-to-head record against Mali is worse. They've played them twice. 1-0 win, 2-0 loss equals worse head-to-head record. Simple as that. Gambia are only ahead of South Sudan on head-to-head as well as points, but currently they're not in a good spot. Now, of course, they play Congo in September, but they will need to go into that game with a better points tally. Nothing to do with goal difference. They need to go in with more points. If they both go in with 6, if they both go in with 7, hell, even if they both go in with 9 points, Congo will be above Gambia. In fact, if Gambia beat South Sudan and Congo beat Mali, Gambia will still be third in this group on head-to-head record. Even if Gambia beat South Sudan 400 goals to nil, if they don't best Congo in that final game, and Congo were to beat Mali in this one, Gambia would go out. That is what's crazy about this tiebreaker rule. I'm not against it. It adds an element of spice, but it's worth mentioning. Gambia need to hope that Mali beats Congo and that they can beat South Sudan or at least get a draw. But I think it's win. I think it's win or bust here, really. They've played each other once, Gambia and Congo. Congo won. All right, they were at home. It was 1-0. Gambia could potentially back themselves to get a 0-0 draw, but they must be in a strong position. They must be 3 points clear in that final game with Congo to have a clear chance to go through for me. How do I think that this game against South Sudan is going to go? Gambia solid at the back. Don't score many goals. South Sudan, they've put up a really good showing so far for a side as lowly ranked as they are. They're very, very capable. We've seen that already in this group. They've not been battered by anyone. I think that Gambia might need to loosen the defensive structure a little bit and attack, because I think South Sudan could get a goal in this game, and I think that really Gambia will need to back themselves to do what they haven't done as yet in this group and score 2 goals to guarantee that they're going to win this game, and even then I don't think it will be plain sailing. I do think that the Scorpions will get the all-important 3 points, but I think that it will be close. I think it will be something like a 2-1, and I'm not 100% sure of that, to be honest, because I think South Sudan are better than people give them credit for. But this game's not just huge for this Gambia team right now. It's so important for the nation. It's so important for the legacy. We've already seen what Gambia's under-20 sides can do. They got to the final of AFCON, losing to Senegal, and they got to the round of 16 of the under-20s World Cup. They beat France on the way there. They drew with South Korea, who got to the semi-finals. And they went out in the round of 16 to Uruguay, the eventual winners. You've got players like Mohamed Jobe coming through, huge talent. They have players, they have capable players coming through. And this team, this nation needs AFCON. They need to make it back-to-back. What do you think? Have your say in the comments. Who do you think is going to get out of this chaotic but fantastic group in AFCON qualifiers? We're so happy to have it back. And also a special thanks to all of our subscribers. We've hit 3,000, which is a great milestone for us to hit. We want to keep pushing hard and improving so that we bring you better and better content. But just want to say thank you. And of course, as ever, every time, we'll see you next time.